Good day to all you glorious Rapscallion resonators. The name's FOXSOL. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some more Wuthering Waves. And in today's video, we're going to have a conversation about unit builders, gacha builders. Why? Because I think it's a topic that is a little bit interesting, a little bit irritating, and I think it's a good conversation to actually have. So, take a seat at the bar, get you something cold to drink, relax, and let's talk. So, we are talking about unit builders, gacha builders, okay? What is a unit builder? What is a gacha builder? What am I classifying this as? Well, I'm classifying this as the people who, take time, sit around, test different things, and, they're building, they're using a level 4 weapon with a certain echo set, for example. They're using, moonlit clouds over fusion echo set. They're building, a crit damage build. They're building a defense build. They're doing different things like this, right? People who are generalizing and building towards the character, whether it is a optimal build, whether it's a for fun build, or whether it is what I like to do, lazy man's build. And the reason why we're coming into this is because I think some people out there need a reality check. They need to be told, hey, you don't need to be a jerk, bruh. Straight up, you don't need to be a jackass when you're expressing your opinion. What I mean by this, and it's not everybody. Let me put it like this. This is not to regard to every single person in the world who plays Wuthering Waves, GLYTCH Impact, or whatever gacha game. But there is a select vocal few that needs to be tamed, in my personal opinion. My issue is that you have people out there that someone comes out and says, hey, look, I'm building my character like this, and I would like to see if there's any suggestions or something, or hey, they're just sharing a build that they did that's working for them. And then you have this, what I like to think of is you have this anime otaku weeaboo guy who has got these big bulky fucking glasses, that's a fucking nerd that probably never even seen a woman before, and he's got only waifus, and straight up being like, that is not the most optimal build. If you look at the formula sheet over here, you can see that you have to use not a 44111 on this character. You actually need to use a 43311 on this character in order to optimize their healing capabilities while also providing damage output, so that way you are actually optimizingly using your character the right way. These are the kind of people that I honestly don't jive with. And I'm not saying like you watching the video like you're like this. There is some people who's going to be like, hey, look, your build and everything else, you got the second type of person that's going to look at you and be like, hey, this build you're doing, I understand that, this is the reason why you're doing it, but have you took a look at doing, a 433-111 Spectro set instead of, a Moonlit Cloud set that is based on these substats? Instead of focusing on crit rate, you focus on crit damage for this purpose. And, they're not throwing their opinion down your throat. They're giving a suggestion, right? I think we can all understand that those type of people, perfectly fine, because you can actually have a conversation with them and they're not going to ridicule you and call you stupid and everything. The problem I have is that there's a lot of people that I have interacted with on Discord, Reddit. I've stopped doing Reddit because of this. I've stopped really talking to people on Discord and certain Discord servers because of this. And heck, it even happens every now and then in my own YouTube comments, and I still respond to them. I don't care no more. But it's a little irritating when you got someone's going to tell you that, you know, your build is completely wrong. When I explained even in the video, hey, look, this build that I'm doing right here is kind of trash. I'm not going to lie. It's not an optimal build. However, it's working for this purpose, and this is the reason why I'm doing this build. So that way, you know, someone out there who might want to try something, that they have an unutilized character. Their Zayshay is not being utilized. You know, they're not going to use her in this regards, and they're like, hey, you know what? Yeah, let me build her. Let me try it your way and see if it's going to work for me right now. You know, hey, you know what? I really do like Chang-Li. I like, you know, I want to make her main DPS. I want to see crit build. Oh, Fox has got a crit build, you know, instead of everyone else is going to be like, oh, you got to use her with Encore. She's a sub DPS. She's not a main DPS. You're sacrificing, you know, potential damage output that you could be doing with Encore as the main DPS, blah, 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 all this other stuff. You know, they want to have a fun build. They want to make Chang-Li a main, just like I did. Guess what? We can drive together. I took a build of Jianchi, right? Straight up. I made her a tank. I made her a healer tank. Her entire purpose was to come on the field, do a couple little fucking chi moves, go wah, 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 and pop a shield that would go ahead and go on my characters and heal my characters for 2,000 plus each for like every 6 seconds for the next 30 seconds. And walla bing, walla boom, use our outro skill to make the resonant liberation damage skyrocket by 38% for the next character that comes in. Was her job to do damage? No. Was her job to come in and do anything else? No. I made that build. I made a build, you know, and I even stated this build is not, you know, probably the right build for her. However, I'm doing this build because it's benefiting this character. And, you know, I have some people out there that's like, hey, that's a good idea. I have other people out there telling me, you know, I am the worst person in the world, that I am stupid. I am this. I am the hard R word, you know, retard. I even had one person tell me to go kill myself because I'm not following the formula sheet. I don't mind, and I think that a lot of people are like me. I think there's a lot of people like me that's out there that's going to be like, that's going to understand in this game, right? Look, let's go look at it real quick. In this game, when it comes to characters like WuWA, we have a video out there right now where I'm asking you guys to help me create a completely off the meta, completely funny, whatever type build, and we're just going to throw it on him and we're going to do it. But resource management is a complete bitch in this game. So how do you take units such as WuWA and you make them useful with very limited resources? There's some resources that you're just gonna have to do no matter what. You're just gonna have to, you know, you're gonna have to send the character. You're gonna have to use, you know, you're gonna have to go grind out the Hidden Thunder Tacit cores. You know, you're gonna have to do this. But, you know, you don't have to have, in a sense, and I just accidentally did that, you don't have to have a fully built up tree. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have everything here completely unlocked. You don't have to have all level 10. There's some skills here like you could put as a level 3 and everything else as a level 8 and be fine. There's just certain things that you can do to utilize. There's just people out there that think that if you don't do this build in particular, because this is what the stat sheet says, this is what the calculator says, then you're a moron. Whereas they don't understand reasoning behind it. To me, and I want to stress this out to anyone who watches my guides or my videos, unless otherwise I am 100% sure that it is going to be the most optimal way of building, majority of all my guides, unless it's a character like Chang Li that I care about, or you know, Zeishi that I care about, my Jin Shi that I care about. If it's characters like Encore, if it's characters like Juan, if it's characters even like fucking Rover that I don't give a crap about, my guides that I will produce is going to be what I like to call the lazy man's guide. We're taking unutilized units, and I know there's going to be a bunch of y'all out there who's going to be the same way, and we're just going to do what we can to make that character work. That they're going to have a benefit to the team composition you need. Because, in example, my Tower Versity video, I showcased it, and we can go showcase it right here. I have a bunch, I had Yinlin and Cal that were 2 electric type characters. That's not built up at all. Really not. They are massively, you know, under-leveled basic characters. Yeah, even though they're level 9, did like their forte tree, everything else, there's nothing about them that's actually really built. They don't have a good echo set. I never grinded one, but I used them. I went ahead, I looked at the characters. I was struggling with the echo tower here, and I said, you know what? Let me do this change, that change, just good enough changes that's not optimal, but it works enough to get through a tower. Because I'm already going to get a 30% electric bet damage bonus on Cal and Yinlin. So let's do this. And then this is where I discovered putting, you know, a Moonlit Cloud set on Yinlin instead of an Electro set, a Thunder set on her. And it worked out tremendously fucking well to go ahead and complete the 4th part here with GN and Mortifi. And it worked. My guides in general are designed around the prospect of taking, like I said, unutilized units and making them useful in some way, shape, form. Because we're not going to be able to build every character 100% the most optimal way. We can get close to some things, and then at the same point in time, you're not going to be able to go get every single echo that you properly want. You're going to go, like, let's say, like my Chang Li right here, with her echo set, her fusion echo set. I wanted 2 fusion bonuses that had resonant skill damage bonus on them. It took me a solid week to go grind out the fusion echoes that allowed for that. So for a long time, I was running an echo set that was a 4-3-3-1-1, where it was the main stat being crit damage, the second one being attack, the third one being fusion damage, and then the last 2 ones being both attack. Until I found another fusion that actually ran really good stats on it. That took like 2 weeks to grind that out. And let's be honest, some people don't have the attention span for that shit. Right? Be honest, you probably don't have the attention span to sit there and go grinding for the next fucking 2 weeks a certain echo set just to make sure you have the most optimal echo set to make this work. So my entire point here is that however you want to build your characters, if you want to be a perfectionist, you be a perfectionist. You want to be a person that builds for fun, build for fun. You want to be a person that, you know, builds off meta, that does this, that's like, or even like me, that you want to build a unit fast and quick enough just to get a job done for, you know, because you know that character, you're only going to use it once or twice and that's it. You're going to throw it in the fucking closet and it's going to collect dust after. Then do it. We don't have to be fucking jerks over here fucking telling people they're fucking retarded and shit because they're not building the way you want them to build. Because I think that the problem here is that a majority of the people who tell me, and the majority of people I see that tell others that they're stupid in the way they're building their characters and everything. Oh, you didn't read their kit or anything. I did read the kit, dumbass, first and foremost. and I saw that there was another option. It might not be the most optimal option, but it was an option. It works for me to get the job done. I think that some people need to get a reality check and understand that, you know, there is reasoning behind the way people do things. Not everybody is going to have your time. Not everybody is going to have your luck. Not everybody is going to have this situation that they can do this, you know? And instead of coming off like a dick, you know, and telling someone they're stupid, maybe put yourself in their shoes and understand what they're trying to achieve. Like, I'm just going to say, my characters, there's very few characters in WuthringWaves that I actually have worked to try to perfect. They're not perfect. By all means, they're not perfect. But I put in the effort to make sure that I optimize them to the way I want to optimize them the best as possible I can. Because I want it to work for me. And, you know, I don't mind suggestions. I don't mind someone saying, hey, look, I understand the reason why you're building like this, 100%. But future-wise, here's a suggestion of try this type of build, you know? Coming off like, you know, a decent human being and just saying, hey, you know, instead of throwing your entire opinion down someone's throat, be like, hey, if you get a chance, dude, and you want to try something new with your Chang-Li, try this build. And you put your build suggestion down and voila, boom, voila, bang. You know what? It comes off a lot nicer. It comes off a lot easier. And at the same day, you know what? You open up more people's mindset to try it. I don't try half the builds that people tell me because they're like telling me I'm completely wrong in the way I build. But I can show you that, you know, you're telling me, oh, this my character here, my Jinshi can do 300k, can do 280k damage or whatever. I can tell you right now, I can make my Jinshi with a 44111 build do 300k damage as well. There's certain ways of building it that will make it work. It ain't hard. That, like, I can buff that up pretty relatively easy and make a 44111 build work. Is it optimal? No, it's not. I agree with this 100%. I'm just saying that for some circumstances, you can make it work. So, I'm gonna leave it with that. You guys tell me down below in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? You think I'm completely, you know, asinine? I'm a complete asshole or whatever? By all means, say it. I don't mind. I take criticism, but what I don't like is I don't like people who throw down, you know, their opinion down your entire throat and try to tell you that you are that you're stupid, all this other good stuff, without actually having a conversation. Hence why I built a fucking Discord, so that way, you know what, we can have those types of conversations. That way, if someone wants to question a build that I'm doing or whatever, we could sit there, I could show them, we can get it to a live stream, you know, on Discord and just discuss it and be, you know, understanding of one another. And then you could be like, well, try this. And you know what? We could become friends. We could become cool people. Everything be hunky-dory. That's all. That's all I'm really trying to get my point across is just don't be a dick. Be cool. It's a game. Let people play the way they want to play. Offer suggestions, but don't get hot and bothered and fucking, you know, dickish because someone makes a guide and or someone says, hey, I'm building this, and then just straight up laugh at him and call him a fucking retard and shit like this just because, you know, you think you know it all. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm really gonna tell you something. You might not like hearing this. Some people might not like hearing this. You don't know it all. I don't know it all. There's people out there, you know, they hit different situations that have better ideas than what you have, what I have, and all this other good stuff. And that's why in a community, we shouldn't just go ahead and degrade people because they're not following the formula sheet. Maybe they found, a build that, maybe they have a build that destroys Scar in 3 fucking seconds, but every other boss, it doesn't do shit to them because something's broken here. You don't know. Find out the reason first of why someone's doing something before ridiculing them. All right. And just don't be a dick. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me. You all have a good one. Y'all take it easy. Leave a comment down below whether, like I said, whether you agree, you disagree, what criticisms, what, you have to say. I do read all the comments. I do my best to try. And in general, just keep it classy, keep it jazzy, come back to the bar, and be cool. Okay? Catch you on the flip side. Peace.